The following production is brought to you by the Talkin' Buds Leaf Show.
When you're in this podcast game long enough, you're going to have instances where things just don't go your way and you're caught off guard by things that happen. And you and I recorded a really great episode earlier that will live on in infamy in the Talkin' Buds archives as the episode that nobody heard, because not 40 minutes after we wrapped up recording of that episode, Kyle Dubas makes another huge deal. We literally sat here for like 30 minutes and talked about, they could use another depth piece on defense. They could use another depth forward. We were saying maybe they should prioritize the forward and forget about the defense. Well, Kyle Dubas was way ahead of us on this one, Ryan. Let me tell you. First and foremost, I should acknowledge, I haven't even acknowledged yet because I did so in the unheard episode, that this is a rare remote episode for the Talkin' Buds Leaf Show. Ryan is feeling under the weather, as you'll soon hear when he starts talking.
Yeah, I can't stand virtual podcasting, but sometimes you just gotta keep everybody safe and stay home, even though it's not the vid.
Yeah,
it's just a little cold, but sometimes you gotta stay home, keep everybody safe.
It actually ended up working out. Like, the fact that we have to jump on and re-record this, like, you didn't have to turn around and come back to my house. We didn't have to do any of that stuff. So it actually, of all days to do a remote episode, today is the day. So let's get into it, shall we? The Toronto Maple Leafs acquired defenseman Jake McCabe and forward Sam Lafferty and 2 conditional 5th-round picks from the Chicago Blackhawks. Going the other way is forward Joey Anderson, forward Pavel Gogolev, who I didn't even know was in the Maple Leafs organization, a conditional 2025 first-round pick, which is lottery protected, a 2026 second-round pick, and a 2026 second-round pick, and that's it. So your initial reaction to this deal?
Was not expecting it today. That's number one. Was not expecting a trade to come today, hence recording a podcast mid-afternoon, getting geared up for maybe a last-minute deal on trade deadline day. You know what? It's just it's Kyle Dubas saying, I gotta win a round.
Yeah.
I gotta go deep. This is it. This is my Alex Anthopoulos 2015. And I gotta go all in. I gotta give this team the best chance to win a round and potentially win a Stanley Cup or multiple rounds. But I gotta get everything I can get to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round of this year's playoffs. That's what I see with this.
Jake McCabe is a guy that a lot of the Leaf Twitter crowd has been on for a long time as a guy that they should target. He's a guy that's played top 4 minutes for the Blackhawks. I know the Blackhawks are a terrible team, but I'm seeing people projecting him in the top 4 already, like pairing him with O'Reilly, pairing him with a Giordano, something like that in the top 4. Like, your thoughts on that? Like, we're not going to sit here and profess to be experts on
exactly.
Jake McCabe.
That was what the deal with this trade was. When they got O'Reilly, when they got Achari, those were 2 guys you were like familiar with because you watched O'Reilly go on the run in 2019. You know him from playing in the league for so long and being a prominent player. You know Achari from watching him play with the Bruins and with the Panthers. I know McCabe played with the Sabres, so you'd think I would know him, but yeah, I haven't really paid attention to either of these guys playing hockey for a prolonged period of time. So it was hard for me to have like a take right off the bat. So I relied on Leaf Twitter, the greatest thing ever, to catch me up to speed. And just the number one thing that stands out is he's a plus player on an all-time bad hockey team.
Yeah.
All-time bad. And you look at the hit totals, I'm pretty sure like him and Lafferty put together is more than 9 players on the Leafs combined in hit totals. And
So that's one thing that stood out to me. If you're gonna group these guys in with O'Reilly and Achari, these are 4 guys who play a physical style of hockey.
yeah, I know. And so like when I hear that, when I hear 2 guys coming in, one a defenseman who's not going to be in the earlier pod that no one will ever hear, I said that there's no point in going to add another Connor Timmins, but they went out and they got one better. Like
Yeah.
they actually got a guy who can play in the top 6 and notch one of those guys out. Notch Hole out, notch Sandine out. And if you're going to go get a defenseman, don't get another Jordy Ben. Actually, get a guy who has a chance to play with Morgan Riley, play with Timothy Liljegren, even though Liljegren and Giordano look good, but to actually step in and just immediately knock another guy out like that. That's a big deal.
This is really exciting, man. This is Kyle Dubas pushing his chips in the middle. That's an analogy that's being used a lot, that I've used a lot, but that's what's happening. Like you have to be excited with seeing this today, just simply because he's going for it. Like they're going for it. They know, like, we have to win this round, and I'm gonna put my stake in the ground right now. I'm gonna proclaim it's time to give Kyle Dubas a contract extension. Re-sign Kyle Dubas right now. This guy has given, you cannot, if they go out and they lose, okay? How can you blame him? He has given this core group, look at their team now as opposed to how it looked 2 weeks ago. Alex Kerfoot's off the team. Justin
Yeah.
Holl is off the team.
Yeah, that kind of leads into when all these guys coming in. One of those guys kind of like with Matt Murray's not an LTIR for a long time. It's you're looking at Hole, you're looking at Kerfoot, and you're going, what's the deal with the
I'm
money
looking at a
here?
guy like Sandine too. I think Erasmus Sandine is a guy that they could potentially look to move out as well. Yeah, I mean, unless they're shutting Matt Murray down until the playoffs, which I don't know if that makes a ton of sense. Because wouldn't you want to get him in for a couple of games before just throwing them out there potentially in the playoffs? Or you're just going to say, we're just going to ride Samsonov, and if Murray has to go in cold, he's got to go in cold. But like, if you're not shutting Matt Murray down, then yeah, you got to get rid of Alex Kerfoot.
Yeah, you got to get rid of somebody
Mm.
because I I don't know Matt Murray. I don't know what's going on with Matt Murray. I can't even give an opinion on it because it's just laughable. It's like, well, this guy is literally just has lived up to what everybody said he is, just a disappointment, and not because of his play, because he's just not on the ice. Like,
Yes.
what is this guy doing? Like, he got hit in like the collarbone with a shot, and now he's just gone. Like, where is he?
With
What
an
is he
ankle.
doing?
With an
Yeah,
ankle.
like, what's going on?
I don't know.
I can't
Well,
even begin to speculate what's going on with Matt Murray. I have
no.
no idea.
And time will tell on that. But I'm sorry. Like, I'm dying on this hill. It's time to give Kyle Dubas a contract extension. It is. I'm sorry,
Well,
it is.
here's what I like about this deadline and adding additional pieces. Like usually it's just go out, get the one guy. It's so tough, I think, to turn around an entire culture with just one player. Like you can't just bring in Nick Foligno and expect the culture to change just based off one guy's play. But now you've added 4 guys who are all from the same mold. And it's so much easier to turn around a team mentality when you're looking around and you can see other people like you. You're not the only one being like, I'm not going to get in there and get my ass kicked because no one's there to have my back. Now you have 4 guys. Not that O'Reilly's the toughest guy I've ever seen, but 2 bottom 6 guys and a defenseman who are tough players. And now they can look around the room and be like, "Wait, there's people like me in here now. Now I could actually play physical and feel comfortable that someone's going to have my back." And by doing it by committee to change a culture is way more effective than just bringing in one guy and expecting it to change based off just one guy.
Getting a guy like Jake McCabe, 50% retained, so a $2 million cap hit, on the Leafs salary cap, and to have him through the rest of this season, the 23-24 season and the 24-25 season is some pretty damn good work. And Sam Lafferty as well. They've got him through next year. I was listening to Kyle Dubas speak to the media before you and I jumped on, and he was just saying what they like about Lafferty is that he's like a Swiss Army knife. Like you can plug him in anywhere, and he's a bottom six player, big guy. You said it when we were talking with Nick Richard a few weeks ago that anytime you see anyone on the Leaf roster that has a 6, their height starts with a 6, that piques your interest. And
Yeah, of
so,
course.
yeah, he's a guy you plug in. You could plug in maybe on the third line as a shutdown piece. You could plug in on the fourth line with a Chari. Like, I just think I'm really, really, really excited about this, man. To me, this is just like we're going for it here. And listen, they might the competition in the Eastern Conference is so insane that all these moves don't guarantee a first round win, but at least they're saying we're really, really, really going to try and make that happen this year.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I know you're really excited right now about Dubas. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be, it's, you add all these guys and it still might not work at the end of the day. So,
But they're going for it though,
I
Ryan. Like
know,
they're
I know.
going for it. They're trying.
Well, he
Like
has
they're
to. Like,
yeah.
there's no other option for this guy because right now it just seems like if it doesn't work, he's gone. So why wouldn't he go for it?
I think it's honestly, I think that's ridiculous. I'm coming out. I'm public. I think it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The guy has surrounded it. If they don't win, it is entirely on every guy in that dressing room, not the guy sitting upstairs.
I just don't. The thing I see this season at the deadline is he's finally realized what he has had. It just isn't good enough.
Yes.
It kind of took him too long to realize that. If I did give a knock against them, it's just it took you this long to realize that Pierre Engvall sucks. Like it took you this long to realize that you needed to add more guys for a playoff style hockey series against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like it took you this long. Like this is
Well,
why
I
he's going
think
out getting so many
but
different. He's not getting one piece. He's getting multiple pieces because it's like he can finally see what others have seen that what they had on their bottom 6 just wasn't good enough.
yeah.
They are
And
so much better right now than they were at the
2 weeks
start of the
ago.
season. Like
Even
it's
2 weeks ago,
ridiculous.
man. 2 weeks ago, we were sitting here talking about you literally sat here and we did a comparison of the Lightning bottom 6 versus the Leaf bottom 6, and we were like, it's not even close. It's not even close. That has completely changed. That's totally changed.
And then the Lightning go out and get a guy, and then all of a sudden, just boom, the
Yes.
Leafs got 2 guys.
Well, that was the topic of our forgotten episode was the Eastern Conference arms race and the Bruins, the Devils, the Lightning, and all these teams loading up on guys. And Dubas said during his press conference a few minutes ago that he was asked about just the Eastern Conference in general and how it's crazy, man. Like all these teams are stacked, and he was just like, I don't think that's the worst thing for our team, which I thought was a really interesting comment.
Yeah, I think I mean obviously what's happening in the East impacts the Leafs, but this is just about beating one hockey team, man. Like you get like all these pieces to me is just because if you look at it, Tampa Bay has won the Eastern Conference every single season for the past 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, they are the Eastern Conference. I don't care if the Rangers are going to get Tarasenko. I don't care about that. The Leafs are playing the class of the Eastern Conference round 1. The Devils can go at whoever they want. To me, they are playing the best team in their conference round 1. I don't care how good the Bruins are. This is the class of the East. So every single move that Kyle is making is just to tactically beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. What can I add that we didn't have last year that we could have needed to beat that team? I don't care what the Rangers are doing. I really don't.
Yeah, this comes back to what you and I have been talking about of if they win a round, it's like that's what it's about. It's about winning the
That's all
round.
it's
It's not
about.
about winning a cup. It's not about going on a deep run. It's about breaking through the ceiling, getting the monkey off the back, whatever analogy you want to use. That's what it's about. Winning that first round.
And
Period.
you're
End of discussion.
and the 2 best teams, the Eastern Conference has just been the Bruins and the Lightning since 2018.
Mhm.
Like, I'm pretty sure the Bruins went to the Cup final in 19, and then Tampa's been to the Cup final every year other than that.
Yeah.
So it's like, screw the Rangers, screw the Devils. I don't care what they're doing. We just got to make all our moves to make sure that we're ready to beat Tampa Bay round one, and then we'll worry about the rest later. Whatever. Who cares about the other teams?
Who's out? Is it Alex Kerfoot? Is it Rasmus Sandin? Is it like, because if you look at the forward, the bottom six, and you look at the defense pairings, obviously, to me, let's start with the defense. I think Justin Holl is up in the press box as of now, but nobody's going to take Justin Holl in a deal. So you've got to move out some salary for potentially nothing. Because if you're going to trade Alex Kerfoot somewhere, you're getting almost nothing back for him. But you
Yeah, I
need his
don't.
cap off your books.
Yeah. I think I think Sandin's more in the doghouse than Hole is. I think for some reason I just get the vibe that this organization just really likes Justin Hole as a guy and a hockey player for some reason. And I think it seems I think Sandin comes out of the lineup. If you're talking game one, like again, like for the rest of the regular season, you just play around, see what happens. But I think for game one, I could see Sandin in the press box.
Um,
And then the bottom six, I don't know. I don't know. Like Zach Aston Reese is always kind of like, he's nothing special, but he's also laying the body. I know they love Kerfoot speed. They love Kerfoot on the penalty kill. So I don't know what they're gonna do with the forwards. I have no idea.
I think Kerfoot is the odd man out here.
They love. I don't know. Like, it seems like they just like
They
love
love
him in the
everybody. They love
lineup
Engvall
though.
too. You could say Pierre Engvall. They love Engvall too. They love him.
I think they like Alex Kerfoot more than they like Pierre Engvall. Like
I don't.
I like, it's just like, like, but like
Maybe.
again, it's like, who are we debating here? A bunch of guys who have like one upside, and then like Kerfoot plays on the penalty kill, but he can't score. Engvall is a better forward checker. Like, it's just you just pick what style of player you want in the lineup. Like, do you want the hitter? Do you want the forechecker? Or do you want the penalty killer? And it's up to Sheldon Keefe to make that decision on who's going to be in the press box.
Yeah, time will tell on that one. That's another super exciting thing too, is to see what Sheldon Keefe is going to do here. One thing from our last episode that I wanted to resurrect because I wanted people to hear it was just our take on this John Tavares on left wing situation. Like, there's a lot of talk after
Oh yeah,
acquiring O'Reilly that it's insulting to John Tavares to move him over to the left wing. Yeah,
crying.
it's got to be hard on him, and I could not disagree more. This guy has never looked happier playing on the left wing than he
Literally,
does.
all we talk about is how this guy's just a consummate professional. You don't think he's like, you don't think they sit him down being like, we're just gonna move you to the wing, see what happens with O'Reilly. Like, what is he like? What is he gonna cry? No, he's John Tavares. He's literally the consummate professional. That's why he is the captain. And take the pressure off him from playing the center ice position. Not that he necessarily needs it, but like, to me, Tavares is a better offensive player than Ryan O'Reilly. And Ryan O'Reilly's a better defensive player than John Tavares. Wait, did I
Mhm.
just mix that up? Did I say offensive? Whatever, you know what I mean. But
Yes.
so let John go to the wing and worry about getting his cookies, going up and down the wing, and let Ryan O'Reilly get back and be the man below the goal line in the D zone. Like, it makes all the sense in the world to me. And then guess what? If you decide to put Ryan O'Reilly on the third line center, then you just move it all back.
Yeah, and now you bring in a guy like Sam Lafferty who just adds to your depth. He's more of a role guy though for me. Like I don't know how much offense you're looking for from
No,
Sam
he
Lafferty.
just fits in the tough to play against category.
Yes,
Just
yes,
the amount of hits added to their lineup has just increased dramatically.
yes.
Like
Difficult to
him,
play against.
Achari, McCabe, those are three guys you just added to your line, and block shots too.
Yeah.
Were like, that's just instantly gotten better, which is what everyone always talks about, playoff hockey. There you go.
Do you feel more confident that this will help put them over I still get a little nervous about the goaltending. I
Oh
think
yeah.
Samsonov has been really good, and we talked earlier about Murray being such a question mark. If there's anything that I think could potentially let them down that does concern me a little bit, come April, it's the goaltending. But if you're looking at forward and defense, I think if you're going to stack those two rosters up at the time of this current recording, I think there's no reason why the Leafs can't beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at their roster last playoff, it's dramatically better right now. And
Yep.
they were only one goal away. So you're just hoping that adding all these guys have just helped you. You're one goal away. That's it. And you were in game 6, you were a couple high sticking penalties away from ending that in 6. So it's just all these additions. Just is it enough to just get that? It just no matter what, they go to that last game and they find a way to lose, whether it's by a 1 goal, by 3 goals. It doesn't matter. It's just has all these additions just are they going to get over the hump in that last game? Because it's going 6 or 7. Like it's just
A
it
hundred
just
percent.
is.
I just want to hit on this one more time before we get out of here. I just find this so exciting. Like I really do. Like, yes, we could end up in the same exact place that we've been in the last 5 seasons, but to just see Kyle Dubas say screw this and push all his chips in the middle, like you said, that Anthopoulos 2015, like that's what this is. Like he's just like we're going for it and we're gonna win. And listen, I'm a realistic Leaf fan where if they get past the first round and then lose in the second round, I'll be fine. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh man, that was a wasted opportunity. Just win the damn round.
Just
Win the round.
anyone who has the take of two like more than one round isn't enough. Just try to put yourself in the moment of them winning that round. Like it's going to be the greatest feeling of all time. I know it's
Yep.
embarrassing. I know anti-leafers could just rip me for that. I really don't give a shit. If they went around, just think about how good that's gonna feel. It's gonna be the greatest feeling ever. You're gonna have
100%
tears in
agree.
your eyes. They
Yes.
win one round. Like
Yeah, I know.
that's the bar here. Like
Yep.
it's kind of sad, but that's literally the bar.
That is 100% the bar. So we're going to try this again. We're going to sign off. I am heading out later this week to Mexico for a wedding. I am bringing some equipment with me should Ryan and I need to jump on and do an emergency pod to discuss moving Alex Kerfoot out the door to clear some salary for the new additions and the returning Matt Murray. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's done. I don't think they're going out and getting a major player. I think he's done in terms of like roster players that he's acquired, but I could see them being in on one more deal just to move some salary out the door. That's my prediction.
Yeah, this trade today really surprised me.
Yeah.
It really
I
surprised me.
I was uploading. Anyone who's ever uploaded a video to YouTube knows what kind of ordeal it is. And we were right there. It was like 98%. And I have Twitter notifications on for Leafs PR. So I'm sitting there and I'm like writing out the description. I'm getting the thumbnail ready. And then my phone dings and I look down on it and I'm like, oh, guess this is garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, and we were speculating.
We were.
Some of those takes wouldn't have. I wouldn't say takes actually. Some of those just conversations we had wouldn't have aged very well.
No, we had a full-on conversation about bringing in a depth forward and depth defenseman, and then they brought in a depth forward and depth defenseman.
Well, I just thought after the O'Reilly trade, like they just weren't gonna like. You've heard McCabe's name, but like honestly, it's just because you don't really know much. Like I don't know much about him, so maybe that's why I wasn't so excited. But yeah, it really surprised me.
Yep. So if you don't want to miss any of the content we'll have coming up as the Leafs continue to move closer to the trade deadline, hit that like and subscribe button below. What else should they do, Ryan?
Spread the word. Tell your friends.
We really, really appreciate it. We will see you guys next time.